All right. I'm going to do problem number 3 from the final review packet right here. It says Jonathan decides after weeks of changing his mind that he wants to join the wrestling team. Mr. Smith, the coach, tells Jonathan that there is an opening on the team at the 135-pound weight class. So that looks like it's important, 135 pounds. Unfortunately, Jonathan weighs 151 pounds, so he weighs more. A, how much weight would Jonathan have to lose to make his goal weight? So if he weighs 151, he would have to lose he would have to lose some weight to get down to 135. We're finding the difference, and the difference means we subtract. So I'll borrow from here so I can subtract. 11 minus 5 is 6. 4, because I borrowed from the 5. 4 minus 3 is 1. So it is 16 pounds. If you're wondering why LBS is pounds, that's because it stands for libras, which is the Latin word and the Spanish word. If Jonathan loses 8 pounds his first week of training, 4 pounds his second week of training, then 2, then 1, etc., how much will he weigh at each time interval? So the time intervals here are weeks. So basically we want to know how much he weighs each week. So if he starts at 151 and loses 8 pounds the first week, I'm going to do a little thing. I'm going to write the difference in each spot. So if he loses 8 the first week, that brings him down to 143 pounds. Then he loses 4 the next week. So that brings him to 139 pounds. Then he loses 2 the next week. That brings him to 137 pounds. And got all this information right from the writing. And then he loses 1 the next week, which brings him to 136. Okay, then the question is, what does he lose next time? One thing we notice about this pattern is that the amount he's losing is always half as much. It's dividing by 2. So if it's 1 here, here it's going to be he loses 0.5. So 136 minus 0.5 is 135.5. So he's getting really close to his goal weight. Right now he's only 5 pounds over. And then after that he loses half of 0.5, so he loses 0.25, and feel free to use a calculator on this. And so that's going to be another quarter pound off, so that's going to be 135.25 pounds. And at that point, he still hasn't reached his goal weight. So now we're going to graph Jonathan's progress toward making his goal weight. We got to make sure to accurately scale the graph. So we might notice some things here, as in there are 16 boxes here, and Jonathan needs to lose 16 pounds. His original weight is 151, and he's trying to get down to a goal weight of 135. Since we have 16 boxes, each one of these can be 1. And then what we notice is that the time that's going on, there's 6 weeks. So this is week 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is weeks. And this is pounds. So at week 0, he weighs 151 pounds. So we can plot the point right there. At week 1, he's 143 pounds. At week 2, he's 139 pounds. At week 3, he's 137 pounds. At week 4, he's 136 pounds. At week 5, he's 135 and a half, so now he's here. At week 6, he's 135 and a quarter, so he's extremely close to his goal. And because he's losing the weight consistently and not in rapid fire drops of weight, this becomes what we call a continuous graph, because the points aren't separated, they actually keep going. But we also notice that it tends to flatten out almost completely flat. The thing is, right now he has only a quarter pound to go, but he's only going to lose an eighth of a pound. So then he'll have an eighth of a pound to go and only lose a 16th of a pound. And he will never actually get there. We know this because we studied this. This is what's known as an asymptote. And the idea with the asymptote is that there's a goal, and while you keep approaching it, and you approach it and keep getting closer and closer, the amount that you get closer by is never enough to get you to the exact location. So he has an asymptote at 135 pounds. He keeps getting closer and closer to 135 pounds, but he never quite gets there. Okay, so does it appear Jonathan will ever make his goal weight? No. Why not? If so, where, when? If not, why not? He keeps approaching, but never arrives. So we can say 135 pounds is his asymptote. And there you have it. All right, that's number 3.